Rolling Dice and Taking Names is sponsored by The Broken Token, creator of high-quality gaming accessories and storage solutions. Visit them online at thebrokentoken.com.
When the lights go down in the city, that means it's time for Rolling Dice and Taking Names. In this episode, the guys review Clank, Curse of the Mummy, and Noria. They also bring us a big surprise announcement.
Hello and welcome back to Rolling Dice and Taking Names. This is episode 104, Will in the Sky. My name is Marty.
And I'm Tony.
Did you just pop a drink over there?
Mm-hmm.
What are you drinking?
Okay, so you know what success we had with our Coke Zero Facebook post that we did?
You mean the Coke Zero versus the Coke Zero Sugar Taste Test?
Yes. That Facebook Live post or whatever we did, and we got it out there. So have you seen the new flavors of Diet Coke that have come out?
Horrible.
No, they're not.
They're horrible.
We have mango right here. That is so good.
Oh, no, it's not. Okay, so maybe haven't tried mango, but we tried several of those. Number one, I am not a fan of the taste of Diet Coke at all. I don't understand why that product still exists when you've got Coke Zero Sugar, which is infinitely better tasting than Coke Zero. I mean, yeah,
I'm
Diet
not going to
Coke.
argue with that. Okay, I completely, because, they're eliminating Diet Coke with lime, which was our favorite drink here at the McCree household.
Because it was horrible.
Fine. If you say so.
If it was good, they would still sell it.
No, they're bringing out ginger lime. Now, that is horrible.
Is that one of the new flavors?
Yeah, that's ginger lime's one of the new flavors. Mango, and I always do that Geico commercial, mango burnt chutney. But twisted mango.
Burnt chutney. That's right.
Or burnt mango chutney. And then they have the black cherry. And then they have this other flavor that I'm just like, we've tried them all. And I only like the mango. So you don't like any of them.
Well, I need to try the mango. I don't think I tried the black cherry. And I'm not a big cherry fan anyway. But there's another flavor that we tried, and I don't remember what it was. I still taste too much of the Diet Coke. I wish they would have flavored the Coke Zeros.
Oh, it's the not burnt orange. It's the blood orange. Oh,
no, that's it. Vanessa got me blood orange because there's some other blood orange drinks that I've tried. I didn't like it. That's the one I didn't like. By the look on your face, you didn't care for it either, did you?
But then you go to those Coke machines, those flavor machines that you can hit all the buttons on, and you're sitting there and you're trying to decide what you want, and it reverts back to the beginning screen.
Yeah, because I get behind the people that are constantly trying to mix flavors and everything, and it's driving me insane. Just like, I just want a regular Coke. Could you please move out of the way?
So anyway, I was just kind of curious if you hadn't gotten the option, and if we needed to do a Facebook post of us trying the new Diet Coke flavors, but based on this reaction.
No.
Dadgummit, people, stop bothering me on our private Slack channel here. We're trying to record. Oh,
jeez. Yes, if you, I don't know if that was a segue, but I'm going to say it anyway. One of our backer levels on Podpledge /RDTN is if you contribute up $25, you get on our private Slack private group channel where we sit there and chat all day long with a bunch of our listeners, everything. And right as we started recording, people started chiming in. So now Tony is basically live chatting as we record this episode.
Yeah, Jerry. Yeah, fine. I know the Globetrotters were awesome, and yes, who doesn't remember the Scooby-Doo episode with the Globetrotters? Curly, Meadowlark Lemon, all of those. Did you watch that one?
Is that Jerry Reese, who was our Jack Vouse Memorial Fund winner, who
finally
got his box of squirrels, which I've yet to see pictures of? I want to see some pictures. Wait till y'all see what was in this box of squirrels that was shipped. It was, how much did it weigh? Was it like 18 pounds?
That's less than a Gloomhaven box.
It was a beast. It was an absolute beast. So that was so much fun to get that out. And as soon as we get some pictures of the contents of that, we will be sharing that. So Tony,
Marty.
wrapping all the way back to the intro of this, let me just give you major kudos for the name of this episode. We haven't done this in a while, but this title of this episode is so perfect. You deserve a cowbell.
So I've redeemed myself finally. Thank you.
Yes. The name of this episode is Wheel in the Sky, which is a great classic song by Journey.
Wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Sorry.
I like how you rock while you sing.
It's Journey, man.
You look like Stevie Wonder there doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we're going to be covering the brand new game from Stronghold Games called Noria, which happens to be like a steampunk themed game that takes place on these flying islands, and the whole gimmick or cool mechanic of this are these spinning wheels on the table. That's your action selection mechanic, and so thus Wheel in the Sky is absolutely perfect. I don't think you can top that in the future.
Well, I was, when I first thought of it, I was thinking of some Megadeth song about Death Wheel in the Sky or something, which led me to
Death Wheel in the Sky. I haven't heard that. Is that on their greatest hits album, or is that one of those deep cut ones?
I was just typing Google Wheel in the Sky. Oh, Journey.
Journey, that's right. Tony, did you know
Probably.
that when Journey first started, it was started by guitarist Neil Schon and Greg Raleigh, who came from the group Santana. I don't know if you knew that. They used to play for Santana.
Okay.
When they left, they actually started like a progressive jazz band.
Ooh.
I don't know if you've ever listened to their first 3 albums. They sound nothing like the Journey that you know. And in fact, nobody was really crazy about that sound either, because after the 3 albums, their publisher came to them and said, you guys got to change your sound or it's over. So basically, they totally tweaked their sound from a jazzy, proggy type thing to more hard rock. They went out and got a new lead singer. It didn't really work out, the first lead singer, but the next lead singer, a guy named, you might know, is Steve Perry.
Oh, Sherry.
Yeah, that was not, that was solo Steve
I know
Perry.
that was solo.
But anyway, Wheel in the Sky was off the first album that he was a part of, and basically he joined the band. That album, Infinity, came out, and as you say, the rest is history, because they just shot to stardom right after that. Now, granted, I will give you that their songs are way overplayed because they keep playing the same flipping song over and over again. Because I'll be honest with you, if I'd never hear Don't Stop Believing Again, I'll be A-okay with that.
I remember my daughter being introduced to Journey. I think that was the song that they were singing in some camp that the counselors were constantly having them do, and they could all perform it for some odd reason. I don't know why, but they did.
You know, the show Glee kind of brought it back. They
Is
did
that
a
what it
version
was?
of, I know they did a version of it on Glee, and I remember when that happened, it was like, it was on the radio constantly. And in the band that I played in for a little bit, of all the Journey songs, of all the flipping Journey songs, the band leader said, let's do Don't Stop Believing. I said, you got to be kidding me. Of the entire catalog from this band, you picked the most overplayed version of them all. Got so sick of playing that song.
Speaking of the band, why are you not in the band anymore?
I'm not. I had to give it up because this podcast was taking up too much of my time.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't want you to hurt your dreams.
My dreams. No. There are no dreams here of being a full-time musician. Even when I was doing the band stuff, I had no dreams of being a full-time musician. That's a life I'm done. I don't know if I want to be a part of. That's way too hard, man. I can't handle that life on the road.
Yeah, and I see you drinking out of a nice mason jar with the RDTN squirrel logo.
Actually, it's not. It's just a regular mason jar.
You are drummed out of the Podpledge. God.
I just grabbed the first one in the cupboard there, and it was one of our non-logo jars, which you can also get if you go to podpledge.com/RDTN, and you can pledge, or you can just go buy your own jar, as Tony is like every other weekend. Tony, you're sending out batches of jars to people.
Hope to be. I did miss this weekend, so I'm sorry for the delay on a couple that were supposed to go out this weekend. I hope to get by there on Wednesday and get those shipped out. And the dice, we're in week 1, so we got hopefully 3 more weeks before the dice come in. And as soon as those dice come in, we will be putting together the jars and the dice and get those shipped out to everybody. And please, if you have donated for the neat Podpledge level, please let us know your size. And also, Marty, I think there are
Size
colors.
for what?
A T-shirt.
Okay, well, people didn't know that.
We didn't even give them the option to get the leggings.
You have these thoughts in your head that you just assume you know what that everybody knows what you're thinking.
Listen, I have been trained well by my wife, okay?
What? Just to talk without explaining what you're talking about?
Well, she knows me so well. I mean, our anniversary occurred, and 26 years, there you go. She didn't need to say a thing. She knew I was thinking happy anniversary.
You got by on just thinking it, and she was okay with this?
Sure, she went out with the girls. I went and played games.
Oh,
Remember?
that's right. That's right. We did have a game night on your anniversary night.
How many men can say that?
Not a lot. That's ballsy, man. I'll give you credit for that.
That's right. That's how we roll here. Anyway. So, by the way, if you're interested in purchasing a shirt, be sure to head over to redbubble.com and type in, whatever you do, don't type in just rolling dice, because then you will get a dogs playing poster mat. That doesn't work good, all right?
Dogs playing poker.
Yeah, I don't know why it comes up with a dogs playing poster picture, and it's a whole bunch of pictures of people rolling dice. So I guess you got to type in rolling dice. And
are they playing craps?
I don't know what they're playing. They may be playing taking names. So if you type that in, and then, there's the cute little squirrel. You can click on that right there, and you can see that that's their stickers. Look at that. You can get yourself a sticker. Did you know that? That's so cute. So anyway, be sure to do that. If you please send us your size, and there are multiple colors to choose from. So go over to Redbubble, or I will be sending out an email at the end of next week requesting your size and color. So look at that. Do not spam filter me, please. Just be looking out for a rolling dice taking names at gmail.com email. So please set your filter so we're not blocked. And if I said that wrong, Marty, could you please correct it?
You did say it wrong.
I did not.
You said
it's roll dice take names.
But you said rolling, didn't you?
Maybe.
I don't know. I won't know until I go back and edit this.
Roll dice.
If you did say it correctly, I'm going to go crap. And I got to try to find a way to edit it out to make it sound like I was right.
No, you're right. I think I did say rolling dice, and it's roll dice take names at gmail.com. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
It is right.
5 years, you'd think I know this. You should know what I'm thinking by now.
Yeah, you still know. Again, I know what you're thinking, but they don't. Hey, all right, let's move on. At the end of our last episode, we were very sad to announce that Funagain is actually closing its online stores. And for many years, Funagain has been a sponsor of the show, and we have had a great relationship with them. The last episode, we had actually already recorded. We had actually already got their spot ready to go in the show. And before we released the episode, they announced they were closing. So I had to take out their final ad, and I put in a little spot basically saying, thanks for everything. But we want to come back and just talk about first what a great sponsor Funagain has been for us. The people there that we worked with were fantastic. They supported us from day one. They gave us whatever we wanted. They were so generous with prize giveaways. They gave away like the $200 gift card this past year for our 5th anniversary episode. They would find games that we thought we might be interested in and send them to us. In fact, Tony, that's how we got Gintus last year. That wasn't even on our radar. Funagain contacted us and said, you guys might be interested in this. You mind if you send it to us? And all of a sudden, it won a squirrely.
I know. Amazing game. And I'm counting down the days for my Deluxeified. Excited to have that back.
Yeah, but we're not talking about Gintus.
Oh, we're talking about Funagain. Yes,
yeah.
I agree. Incredible guys, Nick. He did an amazing job in making sure that our listeners were happy.
What they've done is they've said it's a very competitive landscape. Online games is very tough for them to stay in. They're keeping their brick and mortar stores open. So if you're in their area, please go and support them as your local game store, because they will still have those regular stores open, except they're just closing down the website. Of course, Tony, there was a huge warehouse sale. And even you and I were, during game night,
I was wondering if you were going to mention that.
Yes, I am. So the day that this was announced, they said huge warehouse sale. The site crashed, right? Everybody's trying to get in there, trying to claim, they were marking down stuff left and right. So we were having game night over at our friend's Mark's house, and luckily he had a good, Wi-Fi signal. And we're playing game, and Tony is basically sitting there constantly refreshing the site. And as soon as it would come up, he would add a game to the cart, and then it would go down, and then he would come back, add another game to the cart. It spent, 2 hours before you got the order finally in and ordered.
I think maybe a lot of it was the site would go down, but it was also things were getting emptied out so quick. Hey, look, I got Mare Nostrum. Oh, it's gone. And it was just like, oh, man. So while I was somewhat engaged in the game,
it was just like, oh, man. You say that a lot.
I know I do, and I need to stop saying that.
It was just like, oh, man.
Well, it beats an explicative or something like that.
Explicative.
Yeah. That's just bull. See, I could have gone there, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good. Thank you, because I got to go find the bleep out sound, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's sad that they're closing their doors. Matter of fact, they still have a lot of stuff in their warehouse.
They do?
Yeah. Nick said that, hey, we still got some games. Don't forget, just, the sharks have finished circling. There's still some stuff floating. You may be able to find some hidden gems. If you want to, be sure to just, one of the things, not everything is marked for the warehouse sale. So if you go in and type in maybe a publisher's name like Portal, things may pop up that they haven't sold out of because if you click on the warehouse sale banner, it's looking for that filter.
Right.
But if you just type in, say, Portal, but I've already done that and there's nothing there, so don't even try.
I know there's a lot of stuff that they carry, like puzzles and Funko.
Got a puzzle coming. Yep, baby. I told my wife.
Funko figures, if you're interested in that, go check that out, because that might not be something that people are really looking for, so those might still be available.
And Funko sales are up 5%.
Well, yeah, I saw the article today. It's like sales are up, but the profits are down.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, something ain't right somewhere, is it? Yeah. What, this Funko craze is a craze.
Yes, it is much of a craze. But even though we are sad to see Funagain go, we are proud to announce that we here at Rolling Dice and Taking Names have partnered up with, cue the music, Marty.
Was that okay? You want something else?
What else can we do?
Well, let's try this one. How about that?
That'll work.
Okay, there you go. All right, so there, go ahead.
Miniature Market. That's right. Miniature Market and Rolling Dice and Taking Names have teamed up. I don't know what for, but we've teamed up.
Wow. That was a lot more anticlimactic than what I thought it was going to be.
No, we are so happy.
We don't know why.
Yeah. Well, we are ecstatic. We're sad to see Funagain. Sad face on one side. Really happy face. Miniature Market has picked up sponsorship for Rolling Dice and Taking Names, along with our other great sponsors, The Broken Token and Portal. Thank you guys so much. We're really excited. We're really gung-ho to get this off the ground. And for our listeners, we have been able to secure a special link over to Miniature Market, and it will give you a promo code. Mm-hmm. It's going to show up on our blog. It'll show up in our liners notes for our podcast. It'll be on our Facebook page and wherever else Marty decides he wants to post it.
So a little bit of backstory here. We kind of dropped the bomb, so let's kind of explain a few things here. Since we're on the link, let's talk about this.
Okay. Let's talk about it. What
they want to do is they want us to provide a link so the people can go through that link to their website. And this is not an affiliate link. So this isn't one of those links where if you go through this link, we get like money or credit or anything like that. It's not like that at all. It is strictly we want to provide your listeners a special link that has a special code that will give them some sort of discount, some sort of promo or something. And then we want to see how many of your listeners use that link. So Tony, the way it was kind of phrased, we may be on a probationary period. That may be it. I'm not exactly sure. But the fact is they wanted to basically see how much traffic can we generate. And that's where you, the listeners, come in. If you're going to be going to Miniature Market and you're going to be purchasing anything, please go through our link that's going to be on the website. is going to be in our podcast notes. So actually, if you use a podcast app on your phone or whatever, we're going to have it in there. So it's somewhere in those notes so that you can click on it and go there. It's going to be a real easy link. I think it's going to be like Miniature Market /RDTN. It's something pretty straightforward. We'll put it in the guild. But just if you're going to go to Miniature Market, please, we ask as a listener, go through there. You'll get some sort of discount, some sort of promo, and what they'll do is they'll be tracking it so they can see how many users use this link and whether, hey, we're helping generate any traffic for them, because that's the ultimate goal. When we lost Funagain, Tony, you and I scrambled. We're like, holy crap, what are we going to do? We've been very fortunate to have several people over the years to contact us about, hey, I want to be a sponsor, but we don't want to have too many sponsors on the show because we don't want to have it just full of commercials. And we also very, very particular about who we want this sponsor to be. And we wanted it to be a non-publisher, because we have also heard people say too, if you get publishers that are publishing, that's going to sponsor your show, we feel like that you're not going to be fair when you talk about their games, or you're going to down other people's games, try to lift up others. Now, yes, we do have Portal, but Portal's an exception because we're doing it because we're friends with Ignacy. Ignacy was a super nice guy from the beginning. We love Ignacy. That relationship will stay just because we love him. Mm-hmm. And he likes working with us. We like work with him. But aside from that, so that's when we want to find something that was not a publisher. So the next obvious thing was, well, we really enjoy being with Funagain, which is an online game store. Who else can we talk to? And we actually reached out to, and we got to give thanks to our good friend Dan King, who's also sponsored by Miniature Market, and said, Dan, do you think they might be interested? Dan put us in touch. There were handshakes, there were talks, there were conference calls, there were emails.
Bada bing, bada boom, we're sponsored.
Yeah, long story short, yeah, there we are. And we're just very excited. We are very excited because Miniature Market's excited to work with us, and we're excited to work with them. They also want to do what Funagain did. They want to sponsor stuff. They want to make sure that our listeners get something in return. That's why they're doing this promo code. They have this link. They're going to be supporting prize give-outs. They're going to be supporting events that we're doing. They want to make sure that we're supported, and likewise, we want to support them too. Tony, I've been a fan of Miniature Market for many, many years. I've been buying from them for quite a long time.
Yeah, I got some points in my account. That's right. Don't know what I'm doing with them yet. I've been saving them, but I got some points.
And what's so nice is, as much as we love Funagain, we also heard a lot of our listeners say, look, I know you guys are sponsored by Funagain. He said, but their prices may not be as competitive as some other online people. Their shipping is a little more expensive. And they said, I got to watch my money, so it's not really effective. This is where Miniature Market actually is really, really good, Tony, because they're in the center of the country. Their prices are competitive. Their flat rate of shipping is $5.99 on anything up to $99. And after $99, it's free.
And you get points. It's frequent flyer, man.
And you get points. Yeah, and the points are basically used towards store credit, basically, right?
Exactly. And from my standpoint, somebody around here likes to play Shadespire. And how do you get Shadespire?
Well, you know what, Tony? Miniature Market's one of the biggest online stores that also carries Games Workshop products. There are other competitors that are big that do not carry Games Workshop products like Miniature Market does. So recently, I've actually been ordering a lot from them. I've been getting, basically, I ordered my the expansions from them, Tony. We got paint from them because they cover the whole little line of paint. So they've always been my go-to place for Games Workshop. Regardless, I've gone on enough about this long enough. We're very excited. We can't wait to see where this relationship is going to go. So again, I beg you, if you're going to go to Miniature Market, please look for that link that we're going to have posted around. It will benefit you. It does not benefit us except for just providing stats back to them on how well this message is being received.
And once again, I mean, I know we said we're excited. We're excited for our listeners because we know the support that they give, and we're very excited that we'll be able to share back to our customers. We ain't got customers. We got listeners. I'm sorry. We're very excited about that. So, anything else?
No.
You sure? Because I want to talk about something real important to me now.
What's real important to you?
Well, that was important to me, but what's really
wow. I hope they don't listen to that one part.
I'm sure they don't. So, once again, thank you to everyone who put us up for a BGG nomination. Thank you, thank you. Yes, we were bridesmaids again. I am good with that. I don't mind being a loser. I like having just the BGG little token right there on the website. I'm real happy about that. So once again, thank you so much. congrats to Rado. Yay, Rado. I was right. I told you he'd win. And a real big congrats to our good buddy Jamie and his Lords of the Dungeon for getting the RPG Golden Geek. That first year out, knocking it out of the park. That's in my podcast listening rotation as well.
So that you can learn how to run the RPG for us for eventually when we do it?
Well, I offered an opportunity and you're busy.
I wasn't the only one busy.
Once again, I threw out a date. My house is wide open. Donna is gone. I got plenty of time. I was going to throw down some Lord of the Rings RPG. I'm busy. It's St. Patrick's Day.
Well, no. Hey, time out. If you're going to bring this up now, I thought I was going to talk to you about this after. I said I could do Sunday. Are the gaming buddies said we're up for Sunday? Is Sunday off? My wife just asked me, are you going to be gaming this week? I said, not Saturday because it's St. Patrick's Day. By the way, this is released after St. Patrick's Day, so this is being recorded before, so I could do some time jumping here. But I said I could do Sunday.
Fine. We'll do Sunday. We'll see how that works. I'll get everybody happening over here on Sunday. I'll throw out the offers to the other people. We'll see what's going on.
Well, I thought you already threw out the offers. I thought it was already in the books.
No, we got back those. Okay, people, this is a little inside stuff here.
Oh, here we go.
When you put out an offer, you're supposed to say, yes, I can. I'll admit that there is some times that you just can't, you just don't know at the time. But yeah, we might be able to do Sunday. Mike doesn't tell me yes. Okay. So anyway, congrats to the BGG award winners. We are very excited for everyone who won. We're so happy and thank you for nominating us. And Marty wants to go on about some of the winners.
You mean mainly Isaac with Gloomhaven, who won 7 of these things?
Congrats.
I'm surprised he didn't win Best Podcast.
I bet if he had released one, he would have.
So, yeah, a big congrats to Isaac Childress with Gloomhaven, which just is like, looking through the list here, it's like Gloomhaven. I hope he's got a place to put all those medals.
Actually, his releases on his updates from his Kickstarter were very well done. He could have done it. He could have gotten, if he had read those, he might have won it.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of these aren't really surprising. I know there's a lot of talk on the war game, 878 Vikings from Academy Games. One, people are like, is that really a war game? Regardless, there's always this discussion, right, Tony? Why did this win over that? Well, because it got more votes than the other.
Yeah,
that's why it won. But you know who was even a bigger winner than Gloomhaven?
No.
Zelda, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild.
Over on the video game ones where I don't even venture?
Yeah. Let me tell you, it racked up over there. Best Switch game, best video game, best visual arts game. I love looking at the video game stuff. One I need to get, and you and I need to play, is the Through the Ages app. That won the best mobile handheld app for like a board game type app. Okay,
we'll do that. Through the Ages, best mobile handheld. Tell me what platform and we'll go. I've been knocking it out of the park with Age of Rivals. I keep playing. I hate when I get addicted to a game on my phone.
Oh, and a quick shout out to the best 3DS game, Metroid: Samus Returns. I love Metroid. Woo! Metroid 4 coming soon. Okay,
I don't even know where my Game Boy thing is that I packed.
Your Game Boy thing. Wow. Anyway, all the BGG award runners out there, congrats to everybody who won, blah, 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 blah. Basically, congrats to Isaac.
He just, we'll get Gloomhaven. Maybe that's what we'll do Sunday. Forget this Lord of the Rings RPG. Let's put Gloomhaven on the table.
Have you even opened it, sorted it yet?
No, it's the awe factor.
Then we'll move on.
Do I have to punch stuff?
Oh, Lord. I swear, if we come over there and you say we're playing Gloomhaven and you take the shrink wrap off and say, okay, guys, help me punch this thing, I'm going to punch you.
Oh, you're so funny. But something I did punch and play that I want to do a quick mention.
Yes, please.
See, that was smooth. I don't care what you say. Ticket to Ride France. I have been jonesing to play this game. Ever since I got it, I was like, oh, Ticket to Ride. I enjoy playing Ticket to Ride with Donna and Rebecca. And so Rebecca came home, and so we were going to play Ticket to Ride France. I'm like, okay, I've heard a lot about the France edition, where Ticket to Ride, the railroad bed has been cut, but there are no colors on the map except for a few. Okay?
Oh, that's interesting. I was wondering what the difference was.
Right. So all the railroad beds are cut, and then on your turn, you still have the same options as you do in the original Ticket to Ride, where you're either, picking your cards or building a route or taking destination tickets.
Sure.
So you know how to play it. No more rules need to be explained, except when you take the cards, you now have to pick the color of the route between cities, and there are various distances. So you go and say, I'm going to take this color, and oh, by the way, hand me a 3-section blue, and I am going to place it between Paris, and some other city. All right. And
Okay.
so you've now made that route that color.
Oh, so you can actually change the color of the route. That's interesting. Can if one's already been set, can you change it again?
No. Once it's set, that's the color. So there's the screw you factor.
Oh, I can totally see that. So if you see somebody maybe getting ready to do a route of a certain color, you're saying, nope, it's going to be this color instead.
Exactly. Like you're seeing them collect the pinks or the yellows, and you're like, he's gotten a lot of yellows, and I see he's trying to build a route between this city to this city or from Germany over to Paris. Oh, and he's gotten 4. I bet he's trying to go for a 5. I'm going to drop a 5 bleu right here. You see how I use that French word bleu? On it, and you can mess them up. Oh, and then also the routes, the road beds are cut across each other. So when you put down a route, you can cut off a path. And so you know someone's building, you know they're going to put a route right there. Then you can drop. So it puts it very strategic. And when you want to lay those routes down, because I found out that if your wife puts down a certain color route and then you claim it, doesn't go well for you.
So it's worse than like not doing something on your 26th anniversary?
I did something. I went and played games.
Maybe that's why she wasn't happy about what happened in Ticket to Ride France.
No, that was, we had plans on the weekend, so no big deal. It fell flat. I hate to say this. It fell.
Really?
Yeah. Rebecca didn't like it. Donna didn't like it. They didn't like the fact that you were giving away your destinations. And I'm like, well, maybe that's because you're not supposed to be as blatant with placing your road beds. And they go, well, how do you know which ones to collect if you don't have the colors down there? And we had a lot of discussion. But the best part was that Donna won, Rebecca came in second, and I ended up with 24 points. I really stunk. I did not complete a single route.
Were you grumpy?
I was grumpy because Donna paid me back, and she severed my route that I needed to complete 3 tickets at once.
Ooh.
It was near the end of the game. She was at the last. She had 3 trains left. And I said, okay, good. I got 2 reds in my hand. I'm going to pick up a yellow and this, and I'm going to put down a red 2-section track. And nobody else has been collecting reds. Comes back around. She smiles and goes, 2 red trains. Here's 2 red cards. Here's my red trains, because she loves playing the color red like you. She takes it. She severs my route completely. And I'm like, this sucks. This game is awful. I don't like it. And then Rebecca looks at me and says, well, Daddy, why didn't you just play a white one right there? See, it connects all of your stuff too. See it right there, Daddy? Daddy, see that? I never saw it. It was so disappointing. I was sad.
So is it staying on the shelf or not?
It may be in the RDTN sale. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I'd love for you to try it. So maybe if you...
Yeah, I haven't played a good Ticket to Ride in a while, so I'd be interested in playing again. That's one of those games that it's a classic game that I'll play anytime, and it's basically a good teaching game.
And we didn't play the West side yet, the Old West, so I want to do that one too before I decide get rid of it or not. So they really didn't get it. Kind of like, I don't really get all this Seinfeld reference. Not everybody's a Seinfeld fan.
What are you talking about?
In the last episode, somebody put some Seinfeld reference. You know I listen to these shows. I have to listen to them to make sure you didn't screw up the editing, and then I have to listen to them for all that. You do all the hard work, I do the easy work. But I hear your crap that you put in there to embarrass me. I know what you do.
so I didn't slide that one through without you hearing
No,
it?
you didn't slide that one through because I got to get the timestamps. I'm listening for your sorry butt editing that you do an incredible job of editing, by the way.
So last episode, you made the reference.
Yeah, I did.
Something about you name names, which is a very popular line from Seinfeld, and I could not get it out of my head, so I had to interject it in the show, and there it is, and people liked it.
Fine. Whatever. I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. I don't watch it. By the way, for Mark...
Whoa, hold on, stop. Because you don't watch the show, you think that nobody else in this entire universe is watching the show. You do realize that's one of the most popular comedies of all time. All time.
I understand. Great. Maybe my funny bone was removed in operation. I don't know.
That's not the point. The point was you said nobody gets it. More people probably get it than they don't.
Okay. Fine.
And by the way, I'm going to hang on every single freaking word and phrase from now on, looking for the next Seinfeld line to stick in there. And you'll never know it because you don't know the show, even
won't.
if you say it.
And maybe we can all have a Festivus for whatever it is.
Too easy. I'm not going to do it when you're trying to do it. I got to
I
sneak
can't
it
even
in there
try to get it
somehow.
right. Festivus for all of us. Festivus among us.
For the rest of us.
Fine. No soup for you. Yeah, I know the big ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not the big ones. It's the little ones. It's the, it's the name names.
I don't even know what that's from. I'll have to go YouTube that one.
It's when
know.
Elaine was dating a communist and they got blackballed from the Chinese restaurant.
I don't know this.
I know you don't. I'm sorry. Move on. All right. So the Seinfeld. I'm just telling you, more people know Seinfeld than you think know Seinfeld. So there.
Cult of personality. Cult of that's for people to get an earworm right there. Cult. Just saying. Not that I can sing it, but okay.
Yeah. Well, look. I think you may have redeemed yourself with Wheel of Time.
Okay.
Wheel of Time.
How about Will in the Sky?
Wheel of Time is a book series, right?
Sure.
By Robert Jordan?
I don't know.
Dude, are you serious? You've never heard of Wheel of Time?
I think I have. I can't tell you. It's not coming back. I didn't read them. I read Mockingjay. Oh, I went and saw Red Sparrow, by the way.
Hold on, stop. Wheel of Time is an extremely popular sci-fi series. It's like 15 books long. The author actually died recently and somebody else had to start writing the book series. And I thought you were a big sci-fi fantasy fan and you would like this.
Like I said, once again, I haven't been exposed to it. But, oh, look, a Robert Jordan Wheel of Time Wikipedia entry. There you go. So I guess it's a thing. I guess I'm going to have to go look this up now.
Okay, you watched Red Sparrow. Did you like it?
Oh, you need to watch that one.
I'm interested in watching it. Is it not Black Widow?
Is it what?
Is it not kind of the same story as Black Widow from the Avengers?
I don't know the backstory of Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow.
It's a Russian spy type thing?
Okay, sure. Why not?
I can't win. Oh my gosh.
I don't know all these comic book things, okay?
But you've watched enough of the Marvel movies to know who Black Widow is.
I know who Black Widow is. I just don't know her backstory. I just know it's Scarlett Johansson. And that she messed with Tony Stark and all that other cool stuff. That's all that matters. Anyway, I am proud to announce that Tabletoppers is going to be shipped. That's right. I hope everybody, if you were interested in our good buddy Berkey, who, by the way, sent you some spices for Jerry's box. I hope you included them and didn't keep them all yourself.
I put spices. What's the spice called?
A Happy Mouth.
Happy Mouth spices, which are incredible. So yes, yeah. I put some spices in there, and same guy who's also doing the big Tabletoppers. That was a big Kickstarter last year. So you're saying, I think you just talked to him recently. You said they're being shipped out soon.
Yeah, he wanted to share with everybody that backed him, and thanks to all of his backers. But he wanted us to share that he is in the process of getting them shipped out. I got the backing comments coming as well. And he's real excited. He's excited to get this product out. If you're interested, you can still pre-order some of the Tabletoppers and get them delivered. The Mycroft is in short supply. And that's that big one. That's like your table that you got at your house.
That's the biggest one. It's probably one of the most popular ones
that's
too, right?
Big freaking table, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Anyway, Kevin, congratulations on your success. I hope it continues and you don't run into any problems. So just wanted to do a quick update on that. Kickstarters are still kicking the butt. Oh my gosh, so many of them.
So just something real quick, Tony. It happens to be Gamma Week during this week, and Renegade Games just posted they've teamed with Saban Brands to create a line of Power Rangers tabletop games. Go Power Rangers.
Okay, I'm good with this.
I just kind of caught a quick glimpse of that. That's interesting that they're going into a brand like that. I just didn't see that one coming.
So would you be interested in interviewing a Power Ranger if I can make it happen?
Okay. You mean an actual person who played a Power Ranger on TV?
Yes. Would you think our listening audience would enjoy an interview with the White Power Ranger?
Okay, which one? There were tons of them.
I don't know. I don't remember the guy's name.
I mean, you know the White Power Ranger, one of the White Power Rangers?
An intern that I hired, his sister is married to a White Power Ranger.
I kind of would be interested.
I know I am. I would be. I'm working on it.
I'm kind of interested. Maybe we need to get a gauge from the community. It's like, should we interview? Hey, maybe we tie it in, right? So maybe when Renegade Game starts coming out with the line of Power Ranger games, we actually have a real Power Ranger on the show.
I'm telling you, man, I'm working the angles. I'm trying to do what I can. Anything for the listeners. Can you imagine that? It wasn't Go Power Rangers, was it? I enjoyed that last movie.
No, it's a
Go Power Rangers!
I actually enjoyed the movie. I watched them. I know it was bad, but I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I had 3 boys growing up, so they were addicted to Power Rangers. And yes, we got tons of Power Ranger toys lying around here too.
Well, enough about us.
Okay, what you want to do now?
Let's talk about a game. Portalgames.pl. That's right. Get over there.
/EN, unless you're Polish, and then /PL.
And Ignacy said there's some other ones too. I think he said...
there's also German.
German. Okay. So anyway, portalgames.pl/EN. See, now I'm going to be doing it anyway.
Unless it's German, then it's /DE. But go ahead.
Fine. For all the latest news, be sure to check out their website, or more importantly, go out and watch Ignacy tell you all about the company on his video blog. He does an incredible job there. They're in their 3rd printing of Alien Artifact. That, to me, is amazing. They are going multi-language on that. I know that he has been talking about getting it over into Spain, into France, into German. They've been working on that. And you know what is so cool, Marty? Just to show you how down-to-earth Ignacy is. He recently mentioned on his Board Games Insider that he should have gotten an award for probably the biggest rulebook flub of all with First Martians. He admitted to that. That takes a real man right there.
Ignacy's awesome. He has been very upfront with the issues he ran into with First Martians, how it was received. But what a fantastic job of staying with it, Tony. He released an almanac. He's trying to make the game easy to learn, and I think it's helping a lot of people now coming into the game and able to use all those resources that he now has to be able to learn the game and do so well with it. But yeah, I just saw on this informant today, he's wrapping up work on The Detective, which is another big game is coming out. And you talked about the 3rd printing of Alien Artifacts. They've got the new expansion coming out for it too that you can play.
Be sure to go check it out over at the Portal Games. Great company. Great owner.
Small fonts.
Oh, in small font.
Five-minute initiative begins in 3, 2, 1.
Let's talk about an expansion, Marty. Clank, The Mummy's Curse. Renegade Game Studio is the publisher. The designer is Andy Klautis. Did I get that right, man?
And he's not here for us to ask.
Okay, well, Clank, Mummy's Curse. If you know how to play Clank, you got this game coming out of the box. Plain and simple. You need to score the most victory points by... What? It's the truth. Don't even start laughing at me. But there's a new concept. There's this mummy. You're going to be scared of him. He's running around the pyramid. He's trying to chase you down. And if he catches you, you're going to get negative victory points. The dragon's still going to awake. He's still going to try to get to you. You got to get to the top or you're not going to score the victory points. It's Clank. If you enjoy Clank, then maybe you're going to enjoy this expansion. What?
Gosh. Okay, we got 4 minutes left. Now what you want to talk about?
Well, let me ask you this.
Ask me.
You enjoyed Sunken Treasures.
I did. That Sunken Treasure is the first expansion to Clank. I really enjoyed it. It introduced the concept of the underwater thing. So yes, I was very excited to get Mummy's Curse to the table. One thing I love about their expansions, Tony, it's a brand new board, right?
Yeah.
With this board, there's a Sphinx on one side and a pyramid on the other. Both of the sides of the maps are totally different. It's introducing new cards to the game. And like you said, the Mummy, which is basically the board is split up into 4 segments. And you have a D4 that you're going to roll at the beginning of the game to determine where the mummy is. And here's the thing is, every once in a while in the game, there may be a trigger from the cards when they come out from the encounter deck that may tell you to roll that die. If you roll and it comes up on the side where people are in that area, each of them take a curse, which is worth -2 victory points. But if you want to, Tony, you can fight the mummy to get rid of those curses.
And that gets rid of the negative victory points. Now, I wish they could have also let me cull my deck a little bit with that, but that's okay.
Yeah, and you know what, Tony, in our original review of Clank, remember that was the biggest knock we had on the game. It was very hard to call the deck, and we ran into this too. The thing is, though, Tony, you know what it is when you get a deck builder and you throw in an expansion, you're adding more cards to the deck. And we kind of ran into the situation was we didn't get to see a lot of the brand new cards because they were merging with the existing ones. So, I mean, we did see some of the ones that would make you roll the die and there's some new effects, but we still, at the end, we're running into the situation of, I wish I could get rid of these starter cards. There still wasn't a good way to cull.
Yeah, and I mean, we're constantly adding the Clank to the bag. And I was like, okay, it's still the same game. Did the Mummy add a lot for me? I didn't get to play Sunken Treasures. Now, Clank in Space is one of my favorites. Matter of fact, when I was able to get through the Funagain website, that was one that I ordered. But I enjoy playing Clank. I enjoy that aspect of the dragon. I enjoyed pushing your luck. Did the Mummy add anything chasing me? For me, Marty, it didn't. I'm sorry. It just didn't add enough for me to say, okay, I need to have Clank the Mummy, Mummy's Curse in as an expansion for Clank. I'll pull out Clank in Space or Clank, but I don't need to add the Mummy. I don't know what about for you? Do you feel like you need to have it?
Well, here's the thing.
What's the thing? Tell me what the thing is.
To me personally, number one, everybody needs to own a copy of Clank, right? I think Clank is an incredible game. And right now there are 2 expansions for it. And personally, if you were to ask me which one should you get, I would say Sunken Treasures first, because the mechanic of being underwater is a brand new mechanic that you can experience multiple times as you're playing the game. What we found out with Mummy's Curse, Tony, was even though when the dice got rolled, it just so happened it was very few times where we were in the room where he was. So not a lot of us had to deal with the curses. And when we did, there were some cards that allow us to get rid of it, or we could just beat the Mummy up real quick and get rid of it. So other than the Mummy itself, everything was basically the same, but Sunken Treasure adds that whole new underwater mechanic. So for me personally, get base Clank, then add Sunken Treasure, then if you want more, get Mummy's Curse.
And so what I'm hearing you tell me is that roll of the dice didn't add that intensity that you thought it might. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, it was one of those things that didn't add a lot of the tension that we were expecting because, again, just by luck of the roll, he didn't really affect anybody a lot during the times that we played.
If you really, really enjoy Clank, definitely put Mummy's Curse in there. Give it a try before you buy and see what you think. That's The Mummy's Curse, Renegade Game Studios by Andy Claudius.
5-minute initiative is complete.
As we mentioned at the beginning of the show, we want to do a look at Noria from Stronghold Games by designer Sophia Wagner.
Wheels in the sky keep on turning. What?
Perfect name. We had talked about making this just a 5-minute discussion, but we thought that we probably couldn't do it because there are 2 aspects of this game that we really need to get across that's kind of unique. One is the action selection mechanic, which is the wheel thing. If you go out there and look at some pictures of this game, it has this concept of these 3 wheels that are rotating. And it's that the wheels have little tokens in them that represent the actions that you can take on your turn. We figure we need to talk about that for a little bit. Plus, how victory points are scored. The way victory points are handled in this game are kind of different because they're changing. And at the beginning of the game, you may think that I'm going to try to go down this path in order to get these victory points using a certain strategy. But over the course of the game, that may totally change, and that initial strategy won't work at all, and you need to change. And that's the 2 things that we kind of need to hit on, Tony, because you know what? At its core, Tony, this is a kind of a basic Euro. If you strip away all that stuff, this is a Euro game where you collect resources, you can use those resources to generate better goods. Either one of those could be turned in for victory points, or you can use resources to get you some bonus actions. Other than that, that's pretty much a basic Euro.
Yeah, it is. And I bet I could get it in under a minute. I bet I could sit here and tell you exactly how this game works. You got this wheel that you're turning, that's creating your engine to generate your resources, and your resources are turning around to give you victory points, and the person with the most victory points is the winner. That's Noria by Stronghold Games. Thank you very much.
Wow, that could have been the 2-minute initiative.
That's right. It could have been. We make light of it and we joke about that kind of stuff. But at the core, There's your engine. The wheel is your engine, and it is such a unique mechanic that you're right, Marty. You've got to explore this a little bit because there are the 3 discs of the wheel, the 3 gears, and they turn at different rotations. And you can only claim certain actions based on how those disc inside the wheel line up. They've got to be attached, they've got to be aligned, and you can only claim the ones that are in the lower half section in a quadrant or in the diamond or in the right quadrant, the left quadrant, the diamond.
This is great audio. People are totally getting this.
I know. Think about it, people. It's a wheel. And the bottom half, hey, look at it like this. From 3 o'clock over to 9 o'clock. Those are the actions that you can claim.
Ah, that's very well done. Yeah, there's 3 wheels. The top wheel can hold 2 of these action tokens. The middle wheel can hold 4, and the bottom holds 6.
And they turn differently. I've already stated that, but you go ahead and continue.
You made a good point of the 3 to 9. From the 3 to 9 area, you've got these different tokens that may line up. If tokens are adjacent to each other, you can activate them all on your turn, but you can only do 1 per wheel. So the most you can do is basically just by the tokens themselves is 3 tokens. There are other actions that can make you get an additional action. But the thing is, though, is at the end, like you said, Tony, they each turn at a different rate. That top wheel that only has 2 tokens in it does a full 180. The middle wheel, which has 4, turns 90 degrees, and the bottom one turns 60. So that means every turn, you're going to have tokens lining up differently each turn. And that's kind of the whole mechanic of the game. Because over the course of the game, you can add additional tokens to your wheel. At the beginning, you only have 6, but you can add more. So over the course of the game, you have all these different combinations lining up, and you try to figure out the best way to utilize those actions.
Which will help you generate the resources and the actions that you need. One of the actions is, like you said, adding to your wheel. And you have to decide which ones do I want to do, because you have to spend resources to claim the other more advanced actions. You've got to get that engine going, because that's it. Because eventually, once that thing gets turning and churning out what you need it to do, then you can say, all right, this is how I need to drive up the way to get my victory points. And I'll be honest with you, Marty, the victory points thing is still my head's still in the clouds over how to generate the victory points at the end of the game.
In the clouds.
Thank you. Yes, you got it. I'm proud of you. You're paying attention to me. You're not reading something on the internet. You're actually
Well,
listening.
I'm not. I'm sitting here. I mean, this is a steampunk game. You got these floating islands, and you've got these ships that you can go out and collect these resources. And 3 of your 6 tokens are basically those 3 different types of resources. And when you activate them, you'll collect resources of that type based on the number of ships that you have. One of the actions you can take is go get more ships, right? The more ships you have of a particular resource, when you activate that particular color token, you'll get more of those. You can also use those ships to go out and build and claim factories or warehouses that help you build really nice manufactured goods, where you can trade in multiple types of the base resources to build these really nice goods that you can turn in for victory points at the end of the game. And then there's this whole thing, like you said, Tony, you can actually buy additional actions. One of the action tokens is, hey, just go get another token to add to the wheel, and you can orient it however you want. But Tony, like you said, the whole thing is about generating victory points at the end. You're trying to move your pawns up these 4 victory tracks at the end. One of them is, but you can move them up by just basically giving away raw resources. On the other end of the extreme is giving away these manufactured resources. Those are worth a lot more victory points, but the other end's a lot easier to get your pawn to move up, but it's not worth as many victory points at the end, so it's this balancing act.
Okay. Explain to me again the victory points. Okay, the political phase, the victory points, scoring at the end, that is probably the hardest thing to grasp in this game.
Yeah, and here's the thing. That's the part that you're either going to love it or you're going to be like, I don't know about this. Because at the beginning of the game, each one of those victory point tracks, again, I said there's 4, are worth 0 points. They ain't worth anything. At the end of your turn, you have these little gear tokens called knowledge that you can spend to what they call influence the politicians. And what you can do is you can say, I'm going to take this one track and I'm going to use a little marker to cover up a space to indicate, okay, now this track is worth 2 points per level. But here's where the screw you factor comes in, Tony, that a lot of people had issue with. When you do that, you actually remove one of the markers from one of the other tracks. You can have up to 4 levels of victory points per track, maybe 2, 4, 6, 8, maybe the others 3, 6, 9, 12. If you remove one of those markers from one of those tracks, that means it will only max out at a certain point. So you help one track, but you hurt the other. And that's the part where people were a little bit, I don't know about that because I was going to strategize work on that track and you guys just screwed me over. And now I got to totally change my strategy.
Even though there's a bunch of turns on that board, it moves fast.
Yeah, it depends on the number of players. It's like 12, 13, 14 rounds. It's depending on the number of players. And it does move pretty quick, except towards the end when you have all these tokens on your wheel. We actually ended up with a lot of AP. Because now when you're staring at potentially 3 or 4 sets of adjacent tokens, you got to figure out which one of those 3 you want to activate. And a lot of us were like, hurry up and take your turn. It's like, I can't. I'm trying to decide what's the best way to do it. Because you could activate those tokens in any order that you want. And you have like multiple ways that they could be connected to each other. So you could activate multiple tokens, multiple turns. So towards the end of the game, it slowed down incredibly just because due to the AP alone. And if somebody changed a strategy on you where I was going to be working on this one track, but now this one track ain't going to be worth as many victory points, I need to totally change and go work on this other track now.
And I know we glossed over this, but one of the first things you can do on your turn is that you can have an influence phase where you can pay some knowledge. You got some knowledge here.
That's those gear tokens, yeah.
Yeah, that's your money tokens. From that standpoint. But if you pay knowledge, you can then either rotate your disc to set up a turn. So you either the large disc or the medium disc. So that's important. Or you can pay 2 and swap positions of the disc, not disc, but the resource. What are the
tokens? The action tokens inside the disc can be swapped from 2 locations.
So you've got to think through that and think about how. And then how's the wheel going to rotate? How am I going to get more knowledge? How am I going to generate these resources? Oh, I can. Yes, this is an AP game on multiple plays. I mean, you're just going to be sitting there with your head in your hands thinking, okay, I need to do this. I'm setting this up. Oh, crap. What did he just do in political phase to screw me over? Oh, crap.
Yep. And in fact, a lot of us were talking about this game, Tony, after we played a few times in the final game, we were talking like, I wonder how it would be is if when you influence one of the politicians, basically change one of the values of the victory point tracks, if you didn't remove one of the other cubes from one of the other tracks, would it be a better game? It would definitely be a different game. Because early on, one of our friends, Nate, he wins everything, right, Tony?
Always.
We all know he's good at this. So there was this one track that we could tell he was going to go up. All of us basically, each person one by one influenced a different track and nicked him on his one track he was trying to work on, making it so the track he was working on would never be more than worth 2 points per level. If we hadn't have done that, he might could have worked it up to where it was worth 8 points per level. He totally had to change how he played the game, and he didn't end up winning overall because we handicapped him so bad at the beginning.
So what? Nate lost one time. He'll come back. That's the way
that's not my point. We just saw that you could really handicap somebody, and maybe that's part of the game. Maybe I need to play 3 or 4 more times to understand, okay, somebody can screw you over. I need to be diversified and work on multiple tracks at one time. And there's a way to score points based on that too. If you're diversified on every single track, you can actually earn victory points for lowest token on a track, but you have to have all your tokens deployed. You have 4. And if you get them all on the board, then each of them are worth something. If there's one left and you didn't get them all on board, then your lowest one is still worth 0. 0 times whatever that one track level is going to be still 0, right? Or you could say, I'm going to focus on one track and try to run it up as high as I can. And then there's this other track that you can say, the highest token for everybody is going to get X amount of points per level. So you can either diversify across 4 or really focus on maybe 1 or 2. So again, that's another different type of strategy that's part of this game.
So what seems to have only 4 phases to it, your influence, your actions, your political, and then your cleanup, there's a lot there. A lot in that game, a lot of actions, building that will, the AP. So we've talked about various games that look really like they're going to really hurt your brain. I mean, Lignum comes to mind where, it's not that heavy of a game. Lorenzo, great game. It's actually not that bad. This game is hiding, in my opinion, Marty, the other side. There's not much to this game. Oh, yeah, there is. There's a lot to this game. No wonder it was up for an award. And to answer your point before you try to get in here about what if we changed the game? Wouldn't you think, sir, that they would have tested that and decided how they wanted to play it.
You're right. This was just us talking after the game because there was some frustration of, wow, my strategy was totally blown away. It's almost like you don't really know which victory point track you should work on until almost the game is halfway over. But then you feel like at your point, you've been spending then you're going to spend half a game just kind of trying to make sure you could cover every track till you see which one's the most valuable. Which resources am I going to focus on? Which good manufactured goods am I going to focus on so that I can make sure that I could take my pawn and move it up that victory point track. And the higher it is, the more points per level that you get. I don't know, man. There was a lot going on. The people I played with enjoyed it. And it's one of those things, Tony, after our last game that we played, we spent 30 minutes talking about strategy and how that game should be played. To me, that makes a good game. Instead of just putting it back in the box and throwing it away, or putting it away, we sat there and spent time and time. How would I play it again? How should we play it next time? So there is that. It's a beautiful game. There's the wheel mechanic is kind of cool. That's what makes it stand out. The action selection mechanic is different. The victory point conditions are different, and they're not determined till the very end of the game. So Tony, it's not like you're grabbing victory points as you play the game. It's once everything is said and done, you look at each victory point track and calculate victory points per track, per person, add them all up, whoever has the highest wins. So you don't really know until the very end how it's going to turn out.
Oh, and I want to give a quick shout out for when I was reading through the rule book and everything. Well done. And we got a good buddy, TR. I was like, wow, this is actually flowing very nice. So even though we make it sound complicated, they Stronghold's got a video on this that you can go out and watch. John Gets Games. He's got a great video on this. And then actually the rule book is very well done.
Yeah, there's only one nick I had on the rule book, and that was at the beginning of the game, you could take actually one of your pawns, one of your 4, and go ahead and put it on a track. That's not in the setup part of the rules, and that threw us. That's actually embedded like 2 pages later when it's explaining how the political and the influence stuff works. And there's this one little sentence that says, before you start the game, take one of your 4 pawns and start it out on one of the tracks already. That should have been in the setup phase and not later on in the book.
Hey, at least they didn't stick it in the component phase, or you'll never see it. I mean, my gosh.
This game is going to be released on March 21st, so very soon. It's one of those things, if you like medium weight Euro games, I highly recommend checking it out. Again, this is not one, and all of us agreed. We've had multiple people play, multiple players. You can't play this once and kind of make a decision on it, right, Tony? You really got to play it once and go, oh, that's how this is going to work.
That's 4 or 5 games later. Yeah, you ain't going to get on number 2.
Like you said, Tony, it's easy to learn. There's really only 6 different actions. You have a nice little player guide, player aid that shows you what each of those actions do. It's very easy to follow. It's just how to combine them, what order to do them in, and how to approach your strategy for the end of the game.
Wheel in the sky keeps on turning. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. Wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
Well, I know the Broken Token, Greg and Tiffany got back from their JoJo cruises. They've rested, they rehabilitated, and I hope while they were on that cruise, they came up with some brilliant ideas, Marty, for their next inserts.
Me too.
You need to go on a cruise, man, like they did. TheBrokenToken.com. They've got the inserts for the game that you need or that you didn't know you need.
I didn't know I needed that. I'm going to get
boom,
that.
there it is. So be sure to head over to thebrokentoken.com. It helps you. We've said this time and time again on your setup. Guess what? Con season's around the corner. You know that they're going to be busy designing the newest and greatest for the games that are coming out. Be sure to check them out. They've always got some new product out there. Or better yet, if they don't, be sure to participate in their, hey, what should we do next poll that they got going. It's almost as good as a McCree poll over on Board Game Geek, guild number 1589. Wait, this is the Broken Tokens spot. Never mind. Don't listen to that. So, thebrokentoken.com.
Tony, did we just spend 15 minutes on Noria just confusing everybody?
I don't think we confused a single person. We basically said this game is going to be a tough one if you like the good Euro builders. It's got a cool mechanic. And guess what? Victory points are the way you win. They got it.
Well, again, I think like we said, though, right?
Why are you going back to this? We just spent 15 minutes on
say
it.
this. I'm saying, again, just after saying all that, stripping away the wheel and how the victory points are done, it's a basic Euro. It's just the action selection mechanic with the wheel, and creating how victory points are going to be done at the end of the game is what makes it so different.
I think you've said it all. I don't think we need to say any more about it. Do you want to go back to the mummy and talk about how rolling the dice adds curses? Huh? Do you?
Why are you so mean to me?
I'm not being mean to you. I tell you what.
What?
I'll stop being mean if you promise to do this one thing for me.
What's that?
To celebrate Miniature Market working with us, how about we give away a prize or two or more?
I like giving away stuff.
Excellent. So on top of that promo that you can get by going to the miniaturemarket.com/RDTN, is that right?
I don't know. It's in the blog post that you've so eloquently linked. Eloquently?
Clicky, people. Go over there.
It's in the blog post. It should be in the show notes somewhere. It'll be everywhere. You'll be able to find the link. Also, if you actually go to our webpage, we'll have the Miniature Market logo under our sponsorship, and you'll be able to click on the logo and go straight to it that way too.
So back to the contest, because that's what everybody just heard. They don't care what else we said. Contest.
Yes.
This is it. We're going to give away $10 gift cards to Miniature Market. We're giving away 5 of them. Count them. 5. So there'll be 5 $10 gift cards. We're going to do this through the, what's that thing called? Rafflecopter or?
Just you're going to create. Yeah.
I'm going to create. Oh, I like this.
But yeah, go there. There's going to be a blog post. It's one of those typical things where you can enter them multiple times, right? You can like us on Twitter. You can retweet us. You can go to our Facebook page. There's multiple ways to enter and go do so. And we'll pick our winners. After 2 weeks, correct, Tony?
Always 2 weeks.
2 weeks, which pushes at the date of the April the 3rd.
That's right. It's no April Fools here, people. We're going to be giving away some gift cards. And once you get those, you could really do us a solid if you clicky on that link.
when you go to spend those gift cards, go clickety on that link, because then you can use a promo code that link is going to give you to save even more money on the $10 gift card that we just gave you.
Right. So now I come to you with open arms, with nothing to hide, but believe what I say. So here I am with open arms, hoping you'll see that we are sincere about our giveaways at RDTN.
Oh, I wish we would have started this earlier in the episode. I could have injected so many Journey songs during this whole thing.
Oh,
I could have faithfully done it.
what amazes me about, yeah, I know you could have. Because if you had, we might have gone our separate ways.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my gosh. This was a missed opportunity. Stop the recording and start all over again. I want to do this.
No, we're not.
Come on, dude. The party's over.
Oh. I just don't want to stop believing in us, okay?
I want to know how we're going to interject loving, touching, and squeezing.
Did you know that I think we've set up a time where the Chit Chat ladies are going to come back on?
No. That is, whoa. You should not put that one song butted up against something about Chit Chat.
I know, but I was just saying it's going to come. I mean, who's crying now? Not me.
I'm racking my brain at this point trying to come up with the rest of them.
Oh, really?
Look, don't stop believing in me. I'm gonna come up with another one.
Hey, any way you want it, you can have it. You can do it. I mean, really, who's crying now? Not me.
Oh my gosh! Dang it! You're killing me. You're getting all the good ones.
Oh, well, either way, guys, do me a favor. Be good to yourself and keep rolling dice.
Dang it! I lost. And taking names. Thanks for listening. Please join our BGG Guild at 1589. Like our Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter at Dyson Names and Instagram Dyson Names. Basically, you can contact us any way you want it. Tony, I got one.
So now I come to you with open arms, nothing to hide.
No, you're not doing a solo.
Yeah, I am.
No, not solo. I can't hear it. We already know you've heard a lot about Miniature Market, but this is the official spot for a Miniature Market right here. Miniature Market has tons of great games at fantastic prices. They're extremely competitive with every other online store out there. The flat rate shipping that they initiated a couple years ago was great. It's here in the US, it's $5.99 for pretty much anything. So if you're going to spend like $10, you might as well spend another $15-20 since the shipping's not going to go up any. But if you do get up to $99, then it's free ship after that. And then since it's located in the middle of United States in St. Louis, it's easy to get anywhere. If you're not in the United States, well, you still might be able to take advantage of some of their stuff too. It's depending on, just check out their shipping and how much it costs to get shipped anywhere. And again, don't forget to use that special link that we have on our website for a special promo code. Again, you could check them out at miniaturemarket.com.